Today I am so excited to share with you the first leg of my $13,000 ticket with Cathay Pacific First Class. I get to taste some sensational food in the sky, drink some of the finest champagne available, and of course experience the Cathay hospitality. Join us as I fly from London Heathrow on a 12.5-hour flight to Hong Kong, avoiding Russian and Ukrainian airspace. It took me around 30 minutes to get to London Heathrow's Terminal 3. Of course, I gave myself a lot more extra time to allow for special assistance, taking some photos around the airport, and of course, experiencing the Cathay Pacific's amazing first class lounge. Checking in was smooth, and actually I didn't need the special assistance as a lady very kindly escorted me directly to the lounge. Her name was April and she worked for Cathay Pacific and was super friendly. She dropped me to the lounge and I arrived around 9 AM and it wasn't too busy at the time but became a bit more busy very quickly, especially in the fine dining restaurant. I recommend that you book this as soon as you enter. I was very pleased to see that the menu had a vegan option for breakfast, which I tried, and of course accompanied this with the amazing vegetable dumplings, which is Cathay's signature dish. The food was amazing, and just outside the fine dining restaurant you also have some more options which weren't on the menu, such as cereals, pastries, hot and cold drinks, including a fully stocked bar, and plenty of seating options with beautiful views out on the apron. Once boarding had begun, April very kindly came back to the lounge, collected me and personally escorted me right to the aircraft to my seat, which was 1A. On boarding, I received a very warm welcome from Len, who's the aircraft manager. The first class cabin is made up of 6 seats in a 1-1-1 configuration, and the aircraft has 4 different cabin classes in total, encompassing 294 seats. As soon as I saw my suite, I was wowed by the sheer size of the suite as well as the seat. The senior purser, Charles, came and introduced himself and had a friendly conversation before offering me a beverage, which was the signature gin tea along with some mixed nuts and of course a glass of champagne. Yes, they are still serving the vintage champagne, which is Krug 2004, and it's absolutely delicious. Stick around as later in the video I'm going to share a secret about the champagne served by Cathay Pacific in first class. After champagne was served, another crew member called Julia came and introduced herself and offered me the menu and confirmed my meal choice. I was also given an amenity kit and a bag which contained both slippers and pyjamas, which we'll look at later on in the flight. The safety video was played, which can only mean one thing: we were getting close to takeoff.
We're here to make the experience effortlessly smooth and enjoyable. Because your safety is important to us, please take a few minutes to watch our video.
Disappointingly, I missed the takeoff footage. I'd pressed record, but being 99% blind, I couldn't see on my camera that it wasn't recording. I managed to get this footage and also some from an onboard camera. So we'll move straight on to a quick seat tour. So looking at your seat head on, you'll see what looks like 2 large pillows and a blanket, but the first pillow at the top is actually strapped onto the seat. Opposite is your companion seat for dining with some storage underneath and your 18.5-inch entertainment screen. Next to this you have your personal closet where you can hang clothes, put small items like a backpack, which is great as it's easy access, avoids blocking the aisles, and don't forget there are no overhead bins. Next to my left armrest we have a small bin which can be used for storing small items like your smartphone and passport. Next to that you have your in-flight entertainment handheld controller, and next to that you also have some seat controls. There is a reading light, and on the side of the actual armrest is your headphone jack, and just further ahead is where you have your power and charging ports. The 18.5-inch IFE or in-flight entertainment system is very good quality and slides out by the touch of this button so that you can watch it straight ahead of you. On my right side is a further reading light, a literature pocket with safety card, further seat controls, and a huge armrest which turns the seat into what looks like a throne. The last thing to mention are the seat walls are quite high, which gives plenty of privacy. Of course, after takeoff, the crew offered a round of drinks. Did you know that Cathay Pacific was the first airline in the world to introduce a specially brewed beer that can be drunk at 35,000 feet? But of course, I stuck to drinking Krug. Stick around, as later in the video I'm still going to share a secret with you about the first class champagne being offered. But for now, let's have a look at the meals available and the menus. If you prefer to skip this section of the video, head to approximately 6 minutes and 30 seconds. The headphones provided on this flight are by Bose and are noise cancelling in high quality. You can actually head to the website of Cathay Pacific and have a look at the content available for the month that you are travelling. I quite like this and found it very useful, as it helps plan your entertainment side of your journey and help you decide whether you need to download any programs on your own personal device. The system on board itself is very easy to use and very responsive. If you swipe from left to right, you'll get a menu come up with the main headings like watch and listen. The library is extensive, and if you select something like watch, at the top you'll get two options, TV or movies. Once you decide what you want to watch, on the top right corner you get categories, allowing you to break down categories like comedy and so on. As usual, I watched comedy, starting off with Family Guy. My meal was about to be served, so let's show you where the tray table's hidden. The crew beautifully sets up the fine dining table and complements the experience with beautifully presented food. As you would expect, the food is served not on a tray but on nice plates. Although the crew couldn't provide the ingredients for the breads, they could describe them, and they all sounded vegan and tasted delicious. The crew also wrote me this nice little card, which was very sweet. You guys might know that I'm not so much of a fan of pumpkin, but I did enjoy the soup on Eva Air, and look at the way they prepare and present the pumpkin soup on this flight, and again it tasted absolutely delicious. The next starter to be served was a dish made up of chickpeas, mushroom, what looks like couscous, and a garnish of radish. This tasted fantastic as well. Of course, I topped up my champagne to accompany my food. And now it's time for the secret I promised earlier. Cathay Pacific only take on board 4 bottles of Krug, so you need to get yours in quickly. Once that runs out, they grab the Tatinja from business class, which is also decent. It will depend on how many seats in first class are taken, but on my flight all 6 seats were taken. The main course arrived and consisted of tofu, rice, capsicums and what looks like a peanut gravy sauce. It wasn't heated up very hot, it was lukewarm, but tasted fantastic. Dessert came and consisted of plates of fruit, which were strawberries. Of course that goes fantastically with champagne, some mango, some blueberries, some dragon fruit and my favourite, coconut. I absolutely love this, and it's something new that's just started on certain routes with Cathay Pacific. Charles also gave me a toothpick and a box of pralines. Now although the pralines aren't vegan, I still take these and give them to somebody as a small gift. Something I should also mention is that my seat was moved forward, but a normal person would easily be able to come out of the seat. You just lift up the armrest, your seat would be further back, and you would just slide the table forward and get out easily. The table itself is also very sturdy and quite large, so it's easy for you to work or dine. With the meal service done and plenty of champagne drunk, it's time to get into bed, and we start by freshening up and having a look at the amenity kit. The kit and products are provided by a British brand called Bamford, which is one of the world's leaders in natural and organic skincare products. The kit included eye mask and earplugs, mouthwash, dental kit including toothpaste and toothbrush, lip balm, moisturiser and facial mist. Time to go and change into PJs. There are 2 washrooms, the one on the left here is the larger one, the one on the right is the smaller one. The visit to this washroom was about 5 to 6 hours into the flight, and yes, it was still nice and clean. The washroom itself has some amenities also provided by Bamford, some of which you get in your kit. The eye shades, pyjamas and slippers are made by a company called Pi using some of the highest quality cotton in the world. These slippers are the most comfortable I've had on any airline. The pyjamas were comfortable, but they gave me a large which are too big, but they looked nice. What was really nice is whilst I was in the washroom, the crew member proactively decided to make my bed and wanted to surprise me once I returned. Unfortunately, I caught him in the act and it was very nice of him. Of course, having such a wide seat means you get one of the widest beds in the sky. Extremely comfortable, and Cathay Pacific believe that it is one of the softest beds in the sky. The bedding is luxurious and there are 3 types of pillows to choose from: a firm, medium and soft. In most cases it will be the medium pillow that's already on your seat, so if you wanted a softer or a more firmer pillow, I recommend you request this as soon as you board, as they only have limited stock on these. In addition to your amenity kit, once the crew has made up your bed, Bamford also provides you with something called a pillow mist, which is designed to help you fall asleep. Unfortunately, it didn't work for me. I was so excited, I stayed awake and I ended up chatting to the crew. The route map also has one camera angle which I showed you during takeoff and is interactive, so you can swipe in and out and zoom. In the business class section they had set up a snack table where there were pretzels, cereal bars, mixed nuts, shortbread, fruit and some water. Not all aircrafts in Cathay Pacific are equipped with Wi-Fi on board. You can go on their website, tap in your flight path or flight number and it will tell you whether the aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi. Of course, on this long haul flight it is equipped. I have 2 phones this time and I removed the VPN from one, followed the simple steps and hooray, I managed to log on for once. There are 3 packages to choose from: a package for the entire flight or a short time. Of course, if you're flying first class, you get free Wi-Fi unlimited throughout the flight. So naturally, being in first class, I tapped on first class, put in the basic information regarding my seat and name, and before you know it, I was connected within seconds. I didn't really have much to surf, so to check out the speeds, I went into Google and tapped in the World Championship for Snooker scores. That loaded up pretty quick in my view. But it was several hours into the flight where probably most people were sleeping, which means the bandwidth might have been better with less network traffic. But I'm keeping this on the screen to show you how quick it loads. You guys can let me know how quick you think it is, slow or fast or average. And after this, it's time for breakfast. Surprisingly, there was still some Krug left. I guess the other passengers were too busy sleeping, so of course I helped myself to more Krug. Breakfast started with a plate of fruit, which consisted of strawberries, raspberries, pineapple, kiwi and dragon fruit, and again it was absolutely delicious. This was followed by toast along with mushrooms, tomato and scrambled tofu, and I think there was some baked beans underneath, but regardless it was a full English vegan breakfast and it was delicious. This brings us to the end of the flight, and I have to say Charles and Len were fantastic and I really enjoyed talking to them throughout the flight. The product itself is amazing, the seat is so wide, the bedding and sleepwear are both luxurious and high quality, the food was fantastic, and of course Krug, and very enjoyable, and I highly recommend it.